People come from all walks of life. They all have lives they lead. Any and all are welcome here to come and chat with me.
Hi everyone, welcome to the show. Today's a little different for me, I think, with as far as interviews go, because it's a very young man. I believe he's still in high school, secondaries, right? And I interviewed his mother, so it'd be fun to fun experience to interview her son. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Ishaan Gaur. Hey, Ishaan.
Yeah, hey Nancy, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you, and thanks for doing this. This is great.
No worries at all. I'm super excited to I love doing these interviews and talking anytime I get to talk about myself and my life and my whole story. It sounds kind of egoistic, but I think it's cool, spreading the message and spreading my story.
Good. This is awesome. Okay, really awesome. So what grade are you in, by the way?
As of right now, I am in the grade 12 at Eric Camber Secondary School, and I graduate in 2 weeks.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So where's that school located?
This school is in central Vancouver, BC, just you could say right in the heart of Vancouver. So it's in the middle of everything, which is perfect for me. I love being being in the middle of everything. Having access to everything is really big for me.
No, I know that you play football, right?
Yeah, I do.
How long have you been playing?
I've been playing football for almost 5 years now, and football has really changed my life in terms of, mentally how I think, mentally how I work, even physically as well. Football really gave me that edge and that push to, transform my lifestyle into a healthier and, a safer lifestyle.
Okay, explain a little bit what you mean by healthier.
Yeah, so actually a couple years ago, I was in my grade 10 football season, and what happened was I was playing a football game, and I was on the offensive line. And basically, when I was making a block, I absolutely tore my meniscus and tore my MCL. So I was bedridden for, I think, 3 weeks. And at that time, actually, I gained 16 to 17 pounds just sitting on the bed, doing nothing and eating. And, it really hit me that, if this weight gain keeps going in this direction, this could be like my permanent lifestyle, sitting on the bed, asking my mom to help me. And, that really pushed me in the right direction and told me to, get off my butt and work hard and live your dream out and be healthy.
Good for you.
Yeah.
What position do you play now?
Now I am a middle linebacker for the Team British Columbia Football Academy. So I'm hoping I get to play football at Simon Fraser University. I'm right now in talks with the coaches there, and if all goes well, hopefully I'll have a spot on the roster.
I'm just curious, why football? Why not say baseball, soccer, basketball? What was it about football?
With football, before I get into that, I used to play baseball for 10 years. And, I think the big thing with football was, you could be, for example, 300-400 pounds, you could be really big, really heavy, and there would be a spot for you on the field, which I love. I love the inclusivity. Whereas with, baseball or something else, you got to be in top-notch shape no matter what. So I really loved the inclusivity of, the sport of football, and how, size didn't really matter. And if you were, say, bigger or smaller, there was always a spot for you on the field.
I mean, it's so much more physical a sport than obviously basketball, right?
Yeah.
Like, how does that work? Because, I don't follow football, but obviously I've seen games, and when some guy's attacking another one, it's like this whole body slam. Like, don't you get jolted and hurt?
For me, I've always thought of, when you're tackling somebody, when you're doing this, when you're doing that, I've always seen it as like an outlet for any inner demons like faced. So, obviously there is that factor, you're going to get hit, you're going to get punched in the mouth, sucker punched in the mouth. And, sometimes you're going to be like, ooh, but
right.
I think the big thing is, learning the fundamentals of football, because our big thing that coaches stress, as well as a lot of the players nowadays stress, is safe tackling. So obviously, there's going to be that instance where we are hitting the ground full speed. We're running at somebody 20 kilometers an hour. And it's just like, it's high pursuit contact. So Obviously, it sounds like, someone could go out there and get murked, but,
Right.
it's, there's a lot of procedures and a lot of safety procedures in place to, avoid, injuries. And, actually, fun fact, if you didn't know, you're more likely to get a concussion in baseball than you are in football, believe it or not.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
How does your mother cope with you being in such a physical type of sport?
Uh, Honestly, she's always not been fond of me playing football, and actually, maybe not anymore. But back when I started playing football at grade 8, she was like, "Oh my God, my son, please don't get hurt. If someone breaks you, I'm gonna go on the field and hurt them." So, obviously now she's grown accustomed with it because I think another thing as well is I'm very experienced in like the terminology of football, and I know a lot about the whole gist of the sport. So I guess you could say she's starting to, as I am growing up and I'm becoming, more of an advanced football player, she's starting to trust me a lot more, which is always great to see.
Now, I know that anytime you belong to a group or a team, whatever it is, you become like a family, right?
Yeah.
So like as you move on, and if you get on to, where did you say you hoping to get on?
Simon Fraser University's
Yeah,
football
so
team.
you're going to be leaving that group that you created this bond with. You think you're going to find that difficult?
Obviously, with anything, even like all my high school friends outside the football team, leaving them, it's going to be tough. But my big thing is always moving up to the next level. Like I love how, the emotional part of the game, the camaraderie, the brotherhood, that's definitely a big part of it. Sounds cliche, but it's true. If you want to, if say for someone like me, if you want to live your dream out, if you want to be a professional football player, if you want to do great things, sometimes you just got to put that aside and, work hard and just make sure you're crushing your goals. So obviously it will be sad for me, moving on from a place where I did start my football career, and I've learned a lot, and I've gained so many new experiences. It's going to be sad, but I'm also excited for what the future has in store for me.
Speaking of professional football, have you any aspirations of being a professional?
I think growing up, like especially in my high school years, I always have that little trick in me where it's like I want to play in the NFL no matter what. I want to play at the highest level there is, and if you're not shooting for the stars, I don't see a point in shooting at all, because these are goals, these are dreams you work towards, and if that means you're not going to be successful, that's fine. But my thing is, even if I don't, say for example, play professional football in the future, the experiences that I'm gonna gain on this journey to trying to become a professional football, that's going to be more important to me.
Right. Very good. Very good. Now I know you mentioned in your bio. Hold on, now I just have to look at it there. What you're going to be studying at Fraser Valley. What was it you were going to be? Oh, School of Business.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So at the end of that, what do you hope to do?
I'm planning on actually pursuing a career in law studies after that. So I'm not sure what my plan will look like even 4 years ahead, but I definitely want to pursue the studies of law, and having that combination of business and law. It can be it's funny to say, it could be lethal in the field nowadays.
Business law, football.
Yeah, exactly.
Or football, business law, whichever order.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I'd like to change the topic if it's okay with you.
Yeah.
I know that your parents are from India. You were born here.
Correct. Yeah.
Have you experienced any prejudice because of the fact that your parents are from India and because you're not Caucasian?
You know what? It honestly, it sucks to say this, but I definitely, I have experienced some sort of prejudice, let it be on the field, on the football field, or even off the field. I definitely have. Even besides the fact that being Indian, I have experienced prejudice as well. Being a smaller guy, being overweight, it's not easy at all. Definitely the social norms and what Western society considers normal. It's really interesting to me to see, as somebody who has parents who are immigrants and who have immigrated from India to Canada. So yeah, I've definitely experienced a form of prejudice, and obviously, there's always going to be those bumps and potholes along the way, and you can't really control what's happening outside of yourself and outside of your circle. So sometimes you just got to take it, what do you call it, like a grain of salt, and just, move forward. And because I know at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether you're brown, whether you're white, whether you're short, whether you're big, whether you're small. It just matters what kind of person you are, and just what your goals are in life, and what your moral compass is like, what I would say.
I asked that question only because as a person who's obviously Caucasian, I really don't know what it's like to be anything other than. And, you hear about prejudice, but you don't experience it, So I was really curious about that. Now, you sound very positive. You remind me very much of your mother. Because when I interviewed your mother, she's a very positive person, right?
Yeah.
And you sound very much the same, which is really great. I think that's awesome. Have you been to India?
I have actually. I actually went in 2018. Yeah, 2018, and it was such a cool experience. Seeing where my mom grew up, seeing her whole childhood. Even I got to see my dad's old town as well, which was really cool to see. So seeing those roots and seeing my family, my extended family in India, I don't know why that was so close to my heart, and I felt so warm, like being there, physically and metaphorically, of course, because it was very hot. But it was amazing. It was such a fun experience. I enjoyed it, every single bit of it.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, because I was wondering about that. You have all this heritage, right? That you haven't really experienced it other than through what your mother says or what your parents tell you, sort of idea.
Exactly.
And then when you go there, and I'm sure you have other family members there that you hadn't maybe met until then, it must have been a really awesome experience.
It really was. And, it's just crazy. And it goes to show how much, how much you have around you that you don't even know about. And then once you go back home, it's just like, oh my God, I have so much family, and this is awesome. Right. And, it sucks not having them here in Canada, but it's cool to see, they have your back, and, your back is covered whenever you need, because they're all just sitting in India, hanging out and waiting for us. And, it's nice to have a big family. And I finally got to experience that big family feeling.
Now, what about, I don't know what kind of food you eat, growing up, what your mother cooked or whatever, but when you were in India, did you experience foods that you haven't had here?
Oh my God, don't get me started on that. It's absolutely phenomenal, the amount of food and the copious amount of combinations of flavors that you get to experience in India. Yeah. You know what, my mom and dad have both always fed me Indian food, and I've always loved my home cooked food so much. So obviously there was a big change in, the not the authenticity, but rather, the flavor and like the flavor profile of this food in India. But it was nice. It felt like I was at home, but like it also had that twist where it's like, this is something new. So I like this a lot. It was nice. I didn't steer too far away.
I hear what you're saying about the food, because like my son lives in China, and I love Chinese food. When I eat Chinese food there, it's totally different. Flavor wise or whatever it is. I don't know if it's the water, the air, whatever. Tastes totally different than what we find here, right? Yeah. Although I don't know if it's like, for you, I don't know if it's like, if I went to Chinatown here, I can get authentic tasting foods, right? So I don't know if you have that same availability to US with Indian food.
We do have, we do have a couple of supermarkets that definitely, have their fair share of Indian secrets, quote unquote, you could say. And, my mom is always, getting stuff from my grandma in India. So that's another thing as well. Whenever my grandma comes, she always brings her little nicks and crannies that definitely make that big difference in Indian food. So yeah, you know what we have in our house right now, it can suffice here in Canada. So that's something I'm really happy about.
Right. Well, I'm running out of questions. Is there something you wanted to add that I've forgotten to ask or you want to talk about?
No, not really. I think you really covered the whole basis of my life story, and I have nothing else to add.
Well, thank you for doing this. I wish you all the best. I really do. And I'm glad you're going to be graduating really soon. But just stay on camera while I say goodbye to the audience, okay?
Sounds good. No worries.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching this show. I hope you learned a little bit about what it's like for somebody who is not Caucasian, growing up as a Canadian, how they may or may not be treated, and at the same time, this young lad is certainly an inspiration to all of us. So thank you all for watching. Hope you watch the next time. Until then, peace out, everyone.
A sense of community, Chilliwack's a place to be. A sense of community where you're free. Rolling through the mountains, rolling through the valley, rolling through paradise with me. It's multicultural, you're sure to see it all. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see. Come party in the park, go dancing after dark. Chilliwack's the place to be, you'll see.